We're counting down the 20 most jaw-dropping lapses in golf's famously buttoned-up world. Moments where players, fans, and caddies blew past etiquette and paid the price. From club-smashing tantrums and live mic blunders to viral feuds, security nightmares, and million-dollar sponsor losses, each entry proves just how far golf's image can fall when emotions boil over. Which meltdown tops the scale, and why? Let's begin, starting with number 20. Sergio Garcia's meltdown at the 2019 Saudi International didn't just break etiquette. It left 5 greens scarred and a $23,000 repair bill overnight. Frustrated with his putting, Garcia jabbed, gouged, and scraped the turf with his club, disrupting play for multiple groups. The European Tour disqualified him for serious misconduct, an almost unheard of penalty for course damage. Fellow pros voiced outrage in the locker room, with one player privately saying, "He crossed the line 5 times. Garcia left with zero prize money from a $3.5 million purse, and his reputation took a hit that still lingers every time his name comes up. An 11-second outtake from Brooks Koepka's 2021 PGA Championship interview hit the internet like a lightning bolt. As Bryson DeChambeau walked behind him, Koepka's epic eye roll and barely contained annoyance were all it took. The clip, never meant for broadcast, leaked from Golf Channel's archives and racked up tens of millions of views in days. Memes exploded. #Brooksy trended for a full week, and what started as a minor off-camera exchange turned into a months-long feud. Headlines, social feeds, even tournament coverage got hijacked by the rivalry. Proof that in the viral era, one unscripted moment can overshadow an entire major. Shinnecock Hills, 3rd round of the 2018 US Open. Phil Mickelson, frustrated by the brutal course setup, watched his putt race past the hole on the 13th, then did the unthinkable. He jogged after the moving ball and swatted it back toward the cup. That single swipe broke Rule 14-5, drawing a 2-stroke penalty and sparking a live rules debate on national TV. Mickelson claimed it was a calculated move to avoid a worse score, but commentators and former pros called it a clear breach of golf spirit. His round ballooned to 81, #PhilRunning trended instantly, and the USGA's decision not to disqualify him triggered days of outrage. Even without sponsor fallout, the stain on his sportsmanship lingers in every highlight reel. Kapalua, January 9th, 2021. Justin Thomas missed a short putt and muttered a homophobic slur, unaware the broadcast microphone picked up every word. Within minutes, the clip spread across social media, drawing millions of views and a wave of backlash. By January 15th, Ralph Lauren announced they were ending Thomas's $8 million a year sponsorship, citing brand values. FootJoy trimmed its annual deal by 30%. The total endorsement hit reached an estimated $15 million in a single week, and Thomas's approval rating with fans dropped by more than half. Multiple apologies followed, but the financial and reputational damage was already done. Augusta National is where composure is supposed to be, as crisp as the white caddy jumpsuits. Billy Horschel, fighting his swing in the first round of the 2021 Masters, let his temper do the talking. After another chunk chip, he slammed his clubs and bag repeatedly near the green, each smack echoing through the quiet pines, and, thanks to a fan's phone, across 5 million screens in under 24 hours. No penalty came down, but the embarrassment hit harder than a 2-stroke deduction. Horschel's apology landed on Twitter that night, but his Masters payout shrank to about $35,000, roughly a tenth of what a solid week could have brought. At Augusta, the price of a tantrum isn't just dollars. It's a permanent spot in the tournament's unofficial blooper reel. Tiger Woods hosted the 2019 Hero World Challenge, but Patrick Reed stole the headlines for all the wrong reasons. Cameras zoomed in as Reed took 2 practice swings in a waist area, clearly brushing sand away to improve his lie. Officials hit him with a 2-stroke penalty, dropping him from a tie for 3rd and a $355,000 payday down to 12th place and $150,000, a $205,000 swing, not counting appearance fees that vanished overnight. Reed denied intent, blaming camera angles, but the footage left little doubt. Brooks Koepka's dig, calling Reed creative with the rules, echoed a growing chorus. 3 players quietly asked not to be paired with him the next week. The cheater label stuck, and Reed's reputation took a hit that still dogs him every time controversy flares up on tour. Rocket Mortgage Classic 2020. Bryson DeChambeau, already a magnet for attention, stormed over to an NBC cameraman after a rough bunker shot and demanded, "You gotta be gone. You're damaging my brand." The exchange, caught on tape, spread across social media in hours. Instead of protecting his image, the move backfired. Fan sentiment for Bryson dropped 15% that week, and the nickname Camera Bryson started trending. NBC stood by its crew, while fellow players kept their distance or fired off sarcastic tweets. No penalty landed, but the attempt to control coverage only fueled the mockery and turned Bryson's thin skin into meme material. The 2004 Phoenix Open 16th hole crossed a line from party to pandemonium. Beer cans, once tossed in celebration, became projectiles, forcing over 100 police incident calls at that single hole and leading to 54 arrests across the week. By Saturday afternoon, officials halted alcohol sales and locked the gates, sacrificing an estimated $1.1 million in lost concession revenue. Security costs spiked by $400,000 as organizers scrambled to regain control. Players questioned their safety, sponsors questioned their association, and the tournament's reputation took a direct hit. What was once golf's wildest venue suddenly looked like its riskiest liability. Fans took the Brooks vs. Bryson feud from social media to the fairways in 21, launching coordinated Brooksy heckles at Bryson DeChambeau across multiple tournaments. The chants weren't just background noise. They led to dozens of ejections and forced the PGA Tour to rewrite its fan code of conduct, officially labeling targeted heckling as harassment. Internal tour memos revealed a sharp uptick in complaints and security incidents, while ticket sales for rivalry pairings jumped 10%. The spectacle turned every Bryson round into a circus, with players and officials debating where banter ends and bullying begins. Golf's old-school quiet was officially over. Castle Pines 2024 BMW Championship Playoff. Rory McIlroy, the tour's global ambassador, watched his approach miss the mark, then sent his $600 three-wood sailing into the lake, live on international TV. The clip flooded social feeds in minutes, racking up millions of views and a 20% spike in negative sentiment toward golf's most marketable star. No fine, no lost sponsors, but plenty of raised eyebrows in boardrooms and locker rooms. For a player known for composure, the meltdown was a shock, proof that even golf's face can crack under pressure. The meme outlasted the playoff. So did the questions. Saturday at Torrey Pines turned from championship golf to a viral spectacle in seconds. A streaker, draped in a rainbow cape, darted onto the 13th fairway, grabbed a club, and took a couple of wild swings before security finally tackled him on the grass. Clips from every angle hit TikTok and Twitter within minutes, racking up millions of views and turning the US Open into a meme factory overnight. The USGA faced immediate questions about how a fan could get that close to the action, with media and players openly criticizing the lack of preparedness. While no one was hurt and there was no property damage, the incident left the governing body scrambling to reassure sponsors and fans that future majors would be safer. The surreal image of a streaker swinging away at America's toughest championship is now part of golf's modern highlight reel, and a warning that even the most buttoned-up events aren't immune to chaos. Friday at Augusta, the 2013 Masters. Tiger Woods, chasing his fifth green jacket, misplayed his third shot on the 15th and dropped his ball 2 yards behind the original spot, an unintentional but clear rules breach. After his round, Tiger admitted the mistake in a televised interview, triggering a review by tournament officials. Instead of disqualifying him for signing an incorrect scorecard, the committee cited high-profile confusion and assessed a 2-stroke penalty. Tiger finished fourth, missing out on a playoff and roughly $800,000 in additional prize money compared to the runner-up. Analysts and fans debated the decision for weeks, with many accusing Augusta of bending rules for the sport's biggest name. Every time Tiger's legacy is discussed, the 2013 Masters drop resurfaces, a moment when the line between fair play and star privilege got just a little blurrier. Whistling Straits, 2010, PGA Championship. Dustin Johnson stood on the 18th tee with a one-shot lead, chasing his first major, and a $1.35 million payday. His drive landed in a patch of sand trampled by spectators, looking more like a dirt path than a bunker. Unaware of the local rule that every sandy area counted as a bunker, even those outside the ropes, Johnson grounded his club before his approach. 2 shots added after the round erased his playoff spot and dropped his winnings to $270,000, a difference of over $1 million for a single, absent-minded move. The fallout triggered a wave of player complaints about ambiguous course markings and forced the PGA to clarify rules at future majors. Johnson's composure in interviews drew sympathy, but the bunker blunder became a permanent chapter in golf's rulebook mishaps. Royal Melbourne, December 2019. Patrick Reed's caddy, Kessler Karain, waded into the gallery after a day of relentless heckling, then crossed a line no one saw coming. As shouts of "cheater" followed Reed from hole to hole, Karain confronted a fan and threw a punch. The incident was caught on phones and spread within hours, forcing tournament officials to eject him before singles play. Reed, already under fire for Sandgate days earlier, had to face the final round alone. No caddy, no backup, just the weight of public scorn. Tiger Woods, serving as U.S. captain, fielded waves of questions about discipline and team culture, while international headlines painted Team USA as both combative and rudderless. For the first time in President's Cup history, a caddy's ejection overshadowed the golf, leaving Reed's reputation and his teammates' morale at a new low. The 2017 ANA inspiration was supposed to be Lexi Thompson's breakthrough. Instead, a single email from a TV viewer changed everything. As Lexi led the final round, officials approached her on the 13th tee. She'd been assessed a 4-stroke penalty for misplacing her ball mark the day before, a mistake spotted by someone watching at home. The shock was immediate. Her 2-shot lead vanished, and she fought back tears on live broadcast. Lexi clawed her way into a playoff, but lost, missing out on nearly $450,000 in prize money. The fallout was swift and public. Sympathy for Lexi soared. Over 80% in fan polls sided with her, and the uproar forced golf's governing bodies to ban viewer call-ins later that year. Her heartbreak didn't just rewrite the leaderboard, it rewrote the rulebook, closing the door on couch officiating for good. Thunderbird fans at the 2024 Phoenix Open expected a party, but by Saturday, the atmosphere boiled over. Zach Johnson, known for his calm, snapped on a hot mic near the 16th, barking, "Just shut up," at a group of hecklers after repeated taunts. The audio raced across social media, drawing a mix of disbelief and memes, especially given Johnson's reputation as a tour statesman. Organizers, already overwhelmed by unruly crowds and public intoxication, halted beer sales and locked the gates that afternoon, citing safety concerns. While no official blamed Johnson's outburst directly, his frustration mirrored the breaking point for staff and players alike. The financial hit was immediate. With alcohol sales stopped early, the event forfeited a hefty chunk of its usual concession revenue. Johnson's moment became the viral face of a day when golf's gentleman image cracked, and even the leader lost his cool in the crossfire between tradition and chaos. 18 holes into the 2025 Players' Championship practice round, Rory McIlroy found himself at the center of a viral storm, this time thanks to a heckler's phone. After a pointed jab from University of Texas golfer Luke Potter about his 2011 Masters collapse, McIlroy reached over the rope line and grabbed a phone out of Potter's teammate's hands. The phone was returned, but not before both college players were escorted off the premises. Video of the exchange spread across social media within hours, sparking a fierce debate. Was this self-defense against a taunting fan, or a lapse in the decorum expected from one of golf's biggest stars? The incident didn't cost McIlroy prize money or sponsors, but it did trigger a 12% drop in public sentiment, according to analytics tracking. Security protocols came under fire, with questions swirling about how close fans and their phones should be allowed. For McIlroy, already under scrutiny for previous outbursts, the episode added another layer to a season where the line between justified frustration and overreaction grew thinner by the week. Kevin Na and Grayson Murray turned a routine pace of play complaint into golf's most embarrassing Twitter spat of the year. It started during the 2022 Sony Open, when Murray tweeted, "Kevin Na takes 3 minutes to putt, it's a joke." Na fired back, "You missing cuts is a joke." The exchange spiraled from there, with each new tweet drawing more ridicule than support. Fans and fellow pros chimed in, but mostly to roast both players for airing dirty laundry in public. Media outlets pounced, with Golf Digest calling it the pettiest feud on tour, and Sports Illustrated running a poll that found 78% of respondents sided with neither. No fines, no suspensions, just a parade of cringe and a permanent screenshot trail. The whole episode lasted less than 48 hours, but the mutual embarrassment stuck around much longer. In a sport where egos are supposed to be checked at the door, Na and Murray proved that sometimes the real hazards aren't on the course, they're on your phone. Travelers Championship 2013. Bubba Watson, already a two-time Masters winner, let frustration spill over for all to see. After a poor shot on the back nine, he turned on his caddy, Ted Scott, berating him on live broadcast. The exchange wasn't a quick flare-up. Watson's complaints about club selection and wind read stretched for minutes, with cameras and mics catching every word. Scott, who had been on the bag for all of Bubba's big wins, stood silent as the world watched a boss humiliate his employee. There was no apology after the round, just more deflection in the press area. Golf Channel replayed the clip on a loop, and social media labeled Watson a bad boss overnight. The partnership limped along for 3 more years, but the trust was never fully repaired. When they finally split in 2016, the Travelers incident was still the first thing brought up. Proof that in golf, some moments stain a reputation far longer than a lost tournament. Unlike other incidents on this list, there was no fine, no lost sponsor, just a lasting image problem that never quite faded. Ryder Cup, Rome, 2023. Joe LaCava, caddy for Team USA, waved his cap directly on Rory McIlroy's putting line, igniting a shouting match that spilled into the parking lot. McIlroy, usually the face of composure, had to be physically restrained as teammates and captain scrambled to separate both sides. Clips of the confrontation shot past 10 million views overnight, dominating headlines and forcing both teams into damage control. No penalties were handed down, but the incident left a scar on golf's biggest stage, proof that even the Ryder Cup can unravel into chaos when pride and tempers collide. From Sergio Garcia's $23,000 green damaging tantrum at number 20 to the Ryder Cup parking lot brawl topping our list, these 20-0 maturity moments prove that golf's reputation for decorum is just as fragile as a tournament lead on Sunday. Across all entries, the pattern is clear. Pressure, pride, and social media exposure can shatter even the most disciplined facades. Recurring names like Rory, Bryson, and Reed show that even the sport's biggest stars aren't immune, while viral clips and hot mics ensure every slip is amplified and archived. What stands out is the tangible cost: lost sponsorships, damaged reputations, security overhauls, and millions in forfeited prize money. But more than the dollars, it's the erosion of golf's gentlemanly image that resonates. These incidents, from fan chaos to leadership meltdowns, reveal that the real challenge isn't just mastering the course, but mastering yourself. In a sport defined by etiquette, these moments remind us maturity under pressure is as rare and as valuable as a major championship.